Here is how to do the like horizontal blur tutorial thing that I've been meaning to teach you guys for a while. Anyways, this is free by the way, so I go to effects and I choose oblique, or I actually don't know how to say it. I've been saying it wrong in my head like this entire time. So I've seen there's a few different ways you can do it. I've seen people make it the length of like start like on the transition. I've also seen people make it start like a little bit before the transition. In my opinion, it does not matter. That 1 second is not going to change anything. But the first thing I have to do is change the object to all videos, because then you can add keyframes, because you can't tell when it was purple, this keyframe button doesn't do anything. Once you do that whole adjust track length, don't do that, just go all videos. And you can add a keyframe. So what I do, I put my blur to 100, and the rotate, the most common way that I see editors do it is at 100, which is like all the way horizontal. You can also get it at around 50 for vertical all the way, and you can get it at basically all other angles. It starts at 20, which is kind of like a, I don't even remember what the word is, but I'm just gonna do it as 100. And then I usually do it at the very end of the effect, though you can do it earlier. And I just put the blur all the way down to 100. All the way down to 0. Don't touch, you can touch the rotate if you want to. It just does this thing that I don't really like, but it just does this. And you get that little blur. If you touch the rotate though, put it like here. If you don't do it on both, then as you can see, little things like they will turn in the blur. I personally don't like how that looks. But if you do, then do it. I don't care, it's your edit. But see here, if I were to put it a little bit before this one, as you can see, I don't really like how that looks. So I just put it at the very beginning of the transition. If you want a stronger blur, then so there's not enough space, but I just duplicated about 3 times is usually what works for me. Wait a second, this thing hates me. About 3 times you should see a pretty strong blur. Though 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times doesn't matter. But the next thing that I do, I actually usually don't do this because I'm a lazy person. But I usually go to overlay and I'm just gonna blur that out or whatever. And you can choose. I actually saw how Leave It Forever does this, and I think it's really interesting because I've never seen anyone else do that, and I'll explain that later when I was watching her tutorial. But I usually choose the white one, and you don't actually have to do this, you can just zoom in all the way, but I'm petty, so I do this. I put it in whatever my ratio is, which is always 1:1, zoom it and zoom the white all the way in, make it start at the same area where my blurs are starting, which is another reason why I usually put them on the transition, because if it's like somewhere over here, I don't know exactly where that is, but if it's on the transition, I know that it's gonna start here. I've seen people do it without doing this, but I usually put mine on overlay just because when it's on normal, I don't like how it looks when it does the little flash. And make sure you go to out with this, like, not this ski lift thing, this boat is what I think it is. And I click fade out, and I usually put the whole way, though depends on how long your clip is if you want that whole thing. And then it's just, and you get that little flash, and I'll show you what it looks like if you put it on normal. I despise how it looks. I just don't like that. I don't know, come at me, I guess. I hate how it looks, so I put it on overlay. And you still do get a pretty good flash because as you can see, it just looks more natural. And that's literally it.